What is the pettiest reason you can't date someone? She ate pizza with her hands. No. Not like you think. She would scoop up the toppings in a messy pile and like an animal, claw them up and eat them, then rip the bread and eat it. We were at a fancy Italian place and I got horrified. She annoyed the poop out of me, actually the reason why I broke it off. I figured she just was like that because of nerves. But as time progressed, it just got worse. I felt like I had to apologize to everyone she spoke to because of how cringy she was. I was too embarrassed to introduce her to my family because of that. She was otherwise a really wonderful person, kind, caring, and generous. She just said things like, haha you mangy som ******** when joking around with me or my friends. I feel utterly horrible that I broke things off with her, but every time she spoke, it was like nails on a chalkboard to me. I didn't feel like it was fair to her to date someone who felt like that towards her. We have mutual friends and she still tells them that she's very confused as to why I broke things off with her. She's been single ever since. I feel like a douchebag even now writing this out. I instantly noped out of an otherwise fine blind date when she ordered apple juice, off menu, at a fancy restaurant. 19-year-old me only knew apple juice as a toddler's drink, and I just couldn't get past it. I'm no longer that petty. But I did make the mistake of mentioning this to my wife once, many years ago. And she now makes a habit of ordering apple juice whenever we're at a fancy restaurant, just to see if I squirm. I was raised as a fairly sheltered white kid in a very white American suburb. When I was around 20 I went on an OkCupid date with a guy named Manuel. And although I had several valid reasons for not pursuing a third date, I'm ashamed to say that I distinctly recall feeling weird about the prospect of getting into a relationship with a guy named Manuel because it felt weird for me to pronounce his name. Yes, I was that sheltered. At most 15 years later, after having lived the past 8 years of my life in a South Asian country, and 5 years into a committed relationship with a man from this country whose name is as far from white/Western culture as it gets, I cringe so hard at the thought process I had at that time. I broke up with a pretty hot girl when I was younger because she didn't swing her arms when she walked. It just looked weird and reminded me of a gorilla. Really stupid reason I know, but it just looked so stupid and I couldn't overcome it. Back around 2005 I was talking to this guy at work and thinking how funny and sweet he was. As we were chatting, he was pulling his lunch out of a bag, it was McDonald's, and he had all these fries. A ginormous amount of fries. And I thought, ugh, I could never date a guy who ate that kind of food. We've been together since 2008 and got married in 2020. White spittle gathering at the edge of the mouth. I can forgive or overlook a lot of things, but that's an instant turnoff. Edit, every day is a school day. Apparently this can be a sign of dehydration or linked to another condition I've seen called angular cheilitis. I take note when people don't ask you questions about yourself. I always check up on people, how are you/how was your weekend, etc., and it kinda hurts to notice someone never asks the same about you. Not talking about a one-off, but if it's every conversation. Not interested. Also, total deal breaker if they don't like cats. Especially if they say they hate them without valid reason. Wouldn't say that's petty though. People who believe in astrology annoy the ever-living poop out of me. I am sure that there are some very nice people who believe in that stuff, but I am sorry. Relationships are built off of respect. I can't respect someone who thinks that personalities are based off some random sky poop that happened during the month that we were born. I manage a small private zoo, so everyone I know is inundated with animal pics. I matched with someone on Tinder recently who just doesn't seem to care at all, and I'm like, low-key offended. Like, what kind of weirdo doesn't just go bananas over a baby croc or a sugar glider? They were making dinner at my house. That's a nice thing. However, after removing Italian sausages from a package and placing in a skillet, immediately went back to leafing lettuce for a salad without washing their hands. So, unsafe food handling. Bases their personality on their profession or something similar. I was with a girl who worked as a chef and couldn't cook a hot pocket around her without her deep diving into how to make the hot pocket a 5-star meal. My wife once told me she couldn't be with someone who wasn't around the same level of intelligence as she. I have no idea how I'm going to keep it a secret that I'm a freaking idiot the rest of our lives. Nut allergies. A significant portion of my diet is nuts and nut products. Snacking on nuts. Protein bars containing nuts/nut butter. Almond/cashew milk. Etc. It just wouldn't work. I'd starve. Due to my allergies/intolerances combined with my activity level, I would struggle to get enough calories/nutrition without nuts. It just wouldn't be an option to date someone with a severe nut allergy. She had a large tattoo of a half-zombie girl on her back. When doing her from behind, it'd feel like the tattoo's eyes were on me the whole time, and it gave me the creeps. It's one of the very few moments where I felt like I needed to make up an excuse to peace out. It was hard AF actively trying not to lose my erection when that happened. So no regrets about weaseling my way out. Not sure how petty this is. When they have a pre-packaged idea of who I am and spend the entire date trying to fit me into it. I know everyone does this to an extent. It's natural as human beings to make assumptions, but I would find it grating to be told I'm something I'm not, and I don't want to expend the mental energy to correct them. My boyfriend doesn't realize how rare him actually listening to me was in my dating experience. She said I drove slow on our date. She likes men that live dangerously. It snowed heavily while we were at a fancy dinner. I was in my father's car because I had just gotten back from Iraq. She called me a week later. I said I need a woman that is more down to earth. Went on a date with a girl, and at the end we went to kiss. She attacked my face like a zombie trying to eat my brain. It was like the worst, cheesiest porn kiss. I finally had to grab her head and hold it still to get a decent kiss in, but I couldn't go through with it again and had to bail on her.